Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. So I thought it would be fun if we just spent a few days together doing some book stuff. I haven't done one of these videos in a long time. We're just gonna be hanging out doing some bookish stuff. First things first, on the agenda, we are going to be finishing Abby Jimenez's newest release, The Night We Met. This came out on March 24th and just started reading it a couple days ago, and I am so close to finishing it. Her books are always so fast-paced, and even if I'm not always loving the premise of the books, I'm gonna fly through them. I didn't love Say You'll Remember Me. I just couldn't really connect to the characters very much. I wasn't really rooting for them, honestly. I think Xavier was a great character, but I feel like Samantha was very two-dimensional. She just didn't have much to her besides like the things that she was dealing with in her family. So when it came to this book, I was excited for it, but I didn't have the highest expectations, especially because of the trope. So if you didn't know, this book, we're following a boyfriend's best friend sort of trope, or like a best friend's girlfriend. Basically, we're following Larissa and Chris, and Chris is best friends with Mike, and Mike is dating Larissa. But they start spending more time together because Mike is he's almost pushing them to spend more time together, because whenever Mike gets like super drunk, he's like hungover, and Larissa needs a ride somewhere, he always tells Chris to go give her a ride, or he'll make plans to go on a walk with the three of them and then he won't show up, so then it just ends up being the two of them. So he kind of like unintentionally pushes them to spend more time together a little bit, and they end up catching feelings for each other. And I am just gonna say, no matter like what the reason is, what's wrong with Mike or this other third character, I'm never going to think that it's okay. Like, I'm never going to be rooting for this couple. So I think that's my issue. Plus, I don't know, like, Mike isn't like a bad guy. Like, there's nothing wrong. Well, I get what Abby is trying to do, because honestly, like, Mike is not a good boyfriend right now. He's going through a lot, and so he's not showing up for Larissa like he wants to. I don't know, like, he claims to love her, but he's not showing that at all. He forgets that she has a peanut allergy or nut allergy. He doesn't like check the ingredients, and as a girl with an allergy, don't even get me started, like, that angers me. He does love her, he's just struggling a lot, and so even if he was this bad guy, I just can't root for them. I just can't root for them. But I do want them to get together. I'm just like, I want it to be done in a way where it's right, but I don't know how that could be. But my thing is, we're 75% through and nothing has really happened between our couple. Like, thankfully there's been no cheating on Mike. I'm just gonna say that. Thankfully that's not the case, but I'm just like, we're 75% through this book and nothing has really happened. And so I feel like this whole book, basically, actually not even basically, this entire book has just been about getting to where are we going, because it's been the same thing the whole time. It's just been the two of them hanging out and doing these things. They share a dog together, and while I think this is so, like, this would be such a cute thing, I would be rooting for them so much if it wasn't this sort of trope. And I know forbidden romances are like a thing that people like, and like, I get it to a certain extent. It's just like, I don't know. How am I supposed, like, why are we spending the entire book getting to a point? I don't know where we're going. I don't know where we're going. Like, what's gonna happen? I don't know. So those are my current feelings about this book, but like I said, I do have 25% left of the book, and it's like gonna be a very important 25%. It's gonna determine my rating. I just don't know how to feel about it right now. So we're gonna finish this right now. Well, maybe not right now, but we're gonna work our way through this. I have about a little less than 100 pages left, so let's get to reading. Like, Mike doesn't need to be in a relationship. He needs to get help. Like, he needs therapy and he needs to work through his problems, and then I think that he could be like a good boyfriend, because he's not a bad person. He's just going through so much mentally, and it's like, I totally understand why Larissa can't be part of that, because it's not healthy for her to be part of it, but at the same time, it's like, that doesn't give her the excuse to be with his best friend. I don't know. Okay, so I finished The Night We Met by Abby Jimenez, and I'm gonna go ahead and put my rating somewhere on the screen right now, because right in this moment I have not yet decided what I'm rating this book, because my feelings are so conflicted, because I personally loved the couple in this book. But the thing is, that's where my confliction comes from with my thoughts, because I'm calling them the couple because they are the couple of the book, but at the same time, if she's in a different relationship with someone else for 80% of the book, can they really be called the couple? That's why I'm kind of having really mixed feelings about this book, because it felt very non-romance, and I'm going into this book for a romance book because that's what this book is supposed to be, but it's a romance between her and her boyfriend, but it's a bad romance, and it's a romance that he wants with her and she wants with him, but she's in another relationship, so no one's really talking about it. I don't know. And the thing is, Mike was such a third main character in this book, so it was so hard to separate the fact that like he's supposed to be this bad guy, this bad boyfriend, so we're supposed to root for these two. And like, I get it, like I totally get why people would root for them, and like, yeah, I want them together if circumstances were different, if that makes sense. It just felt very strange to me, the fact that 80% of the book followed her relationship with someone else, and then the last 20% was them finally being together. I don't know, I really liked the ending and the ending conversation and resolution that they both had with Mike, and I'm very excited for his book. But I think my rating's like 3 stars, because I'm gonna say this, I told some of my friends this, if we weren't following that plot for the entire book pretty much, I believe this book would have been one of my new favorites, because them together, especially Chris himself, they were giving very much the couple from Just for the Summer. They were giving very much Justin and Emma, and Chris is such an acts of service boyfriend, and that's exactly how Justin is too, and I love that aspect of it. And honestly, I really love his character, and I really liked Larissa too. It's just that was my only issue with it, the fact that we spent most of the book with her in a relationship. I don't know, that's just my whole thing with that book. So I think we're gonna rate it 3 stars, but I would still recommend it because you never know what sort of thing you're gonna like. But I would say, if I'm gonna rate her books real quick, because you guys definitely asked for this, I think I would say, obviously, Just for the Summer is my #1. And then what's crazy is I do want to put this at #2 because I really loved the setting and the couple so much. But I am going to put this one next just because of the circumstances in this book. But then we have this one, and then So You'll Remember Me. Honestly, look at these two together. I cannot wait for this series to be finished so that I could put all these covers together. Look how pretty, look how stunning that is. Absolutely love, literally love. But that's my little Abby Jimenez ranking, because I know you all were waiting for that. So now that we have read The Night We Met, it's time to do our reading journal. So I do have some footage, some b-roll footage from a couple weeks ago when I started all of my little spring spreads and stuff like that at Alexia's house, and then we're gonna sit down together and actually talk it through and work on it together. So let's first go back in time to see the footage that I have from before. know you guys just watched a bunch of b-roll of me doing my reading journal, but now it's time to actually sit down and do it together. So I know you guys saw me do a few spreads. You saw me do my physical TBR, my spring TBR, and my April TBR. I also did a little DNF graveyard, and so I printed out all the pictures, cut them all up, so now we're gonna put them in. So I'm gonna talk to you guys in detail, in depth, what my spring TBR is a little later in this video after we finish this. So I'm gonna be a little vague about that, but for now let's do my DNF graveyard. So I found some inspiration on Pinterest and mine isn't very good. I don't know if you guys can see that. I also realized that the pictures cover the entire grave, so it doesn't even matter. So it's basically just like it sitting in the grass, so it's like basically the book as the gravestone, which is like completely fine because that was like the goal anyways. It just needed to be there. So I'm gonna quickly glue on the 2 DNFs that I've had. They were both in March, and so my 2 DNFs ever happened last month, and they both actually happened in reading vlogs, which is kind of funny, but it's Famous Last Words and Dark Matter. I realized I'm not a science fiction girl, which I already kind of knew, but like I confirmed it with this book, and then Famous Last Words just was not good to me. So that's cute. I don't know how many DNFs we're gonna have for the rest of the year, but at least now we have this graveyard to add them if we need to. So we have this now. I'm not gonna do anything with my April spread yet, except I have read some of the books from my April TBR so far, so we can color those in. Like if we just want to like have fun with it real quick, we could just fill some of those in. So I'm just gonna do like random colors, not pink though because April's pink. We'll do this. All right, so I've read Nothing Like the Movies, so we can color this one in. I've never used these markers before, so I'm actually very impressed. I was like, oh, actually it did. I just colored out the lines a little bit, but I was expecting to color a little bit more of the lines of them, but they seem to be very good actually. I really like the way these color. Oh my goodness. I've been really bad this year. I was so on top of my reading journal last year, but this year I have been slacking so much, like literally so much. Also, I'm about to color in The Night We Met because as you guys saw, I read The Night We Met. So I have just been slacking so much on it this year. I have been catching up and catching up and catching up. Like this, I think April will be like the first month where I'm actually like not catching up and I'm actually doing it within the months. Like I'm doing March's wrap up and then I'm filling in April stuff because I have just been so behind. All right, and then I'm currently reading some of these other books like literally right now. So I think April might be the first TBR ever that I actually complete. How exciting is that? So exciting. So that's that so far, and then okay, that's that, and then I have my spring TBR here. So like I said, I'm not gonna go too in depth with talking about the books yet, but I have 7 here which I will talk to you guys about later, but I'm just gonna like try to put them around this little spread that I did. I didn't like calculate how many books would actually fit here before I printed them out, but we're gonna make it work because we got no other choice here. I don't know, maybe we'll just put them like kind of around wherever they fit. I don't know, but I am trying to make it like all my spreads and everything look better because I've put it off and stuff like that, because I've been procrastinating it. I honestly want to put like minimal effort into it, but I'm trying not to do that because I want this to be something that I can look back on and be proud of. And obviously if I'm showing it on the internet, I want to give it at least most of my effort. So like I love this spread right here, like this spring TBR spread that I did, so cute, like actually love. And I know it's really basic, but like it beats so many of my other spreads that I've done. Let me know if you guys are like seasonal readers, because me personally, I can really only read seasonal books in the season that they take place in. Like some of these books though, they aren't even that seasonal, like the Flat Share for example, not even a seasonal book, I don't think. Like it's not that springy or anything. I don't even know if it takes place in spring, but the cover is so springy that if I tried to read it any other time this year, I don't think I could do it. And like that's just the way my brain works, unfortunately. I can't read it. Like some people read Christmas books whenever they want to, like holiday themed books, and I'm just like, I can't do it because my brain automatically puts me there, and it is so difficult for me to get out of it, and then I end up in a slump because I want it to be Christmas or fall or whatever season I'm reading a book of, and it just messes with my head, so I can't do that. But like, I'm just curious if everyone's that way or if like most people just read whatever they want. Okay, cute. So cute, so cute. And like I've already said like 10 times, like I will talk about this a little bit more in like 10 minutes when you guys see this. So I actually really love this. I love what I've done so far for like my April and like my spring stuff. Now we have my physical TBR, and I have like, I think I have 40 slots here, but I have a lot more than that on my TBR, so I'm gonna just go through my TBR cart and just write them from like top to bottom, and whatever I don't have space for, it doesn't count. So okay, so I have filled up every spot available on this little flap thing, and yes, I could make another page, or I could even do it on the back of this one, but honestly we have enough here. I think it's totally fine. Now honestly, the only thing that I have left to do here is to write in the summaries and the ratings for these books, so I'm gonna quickly do that off camera, and then I will give you a full tour of everything that I've done so far. Okay, so it's now time for a little walkthrough. So I'm just gonna show you everything that I worked on today. I know I've shown my other pages in another video, I'm pretty sure, so I'm just gonna show you what I worked on today. So I was able to color in this one for my 2026 hopeful, and I did it in gray because it was a DNF. So I'm gonna be putting all the other ones in colors based on the ratings. So like the pink is 5 stars, this is 2 stars, green is 3 stars. I haven't had a 4-star on here yet, but then gray for DNF. So this is that. I honestly, this is probably one of my favorite pages in this entire reading journal for some reason. I don't know why, just love it. But I do have one more book on here that is part of my April TBR, so hopefully we'll also be able to cross off that one. And then I was able to color in a few boxes in my book bingo. So my only rule with my book bingo is that I'm not allowed to use the same book for multiple squares. So I could have obviously filled this up more, like I put Made Me Cry for Beartown, but I could also do like new fave, over 400 pages, like you get it. Like I only use one prompt per book. So I do have a few left here, and then I was able to fill in Lady Tremaine, where is it? Here, and then Just Friends. So we're slowly like getting through it. We do obviously have like half the alphabet left, but we're filling it up. Honestly, I'm surprised. I don't know why. I thought it would take longer. And then I didn't fill out anything for my series tracker. I could put the Beartown one here. Do I feel like doing that right now? No. And then for my author tracker, I colored in Nothing Like the Movies. And my key here basically is if it's blue, I read it in 2026. Purple means I read it before then. So I put in Nothing Like the Movies and After I Do, which were both April reads, but I just did everything up until this point. And then I skipped over to my March spread, and basically what I want to start doing on this side, because in past months I would always print out the pictures here and then also print them out here. I'm just wasting colored ink. Like there's no reason to have them that many times. So what I'm gonna try to start doing is more like put my stats here. We're gonna ignore the rainbow. What is that? That's not a freaking rainbow. But I tried something here. Obviously we're going to alter it for next month, but this is just like me testing out that format, and I definitely like that better. And I just put like March's stats, which was just the 6 books that I read, 4 that I actually read, and 2 DNFs. So I just put those there. I filled in my 2 DNF colors there. I did the little summaries here like you guys saw. I did my physical TBR, most of the books there, and what I'll do is I'll just write the date that I finished it probably here. I don't know, I kind of regret putting the date red just because I don't know, I don't necessarily need to like keep track of that, but I put it there and I can't change it now, so I'll probably just put the date that I finished it. And then we have my spring TBR, which honestly I love so much. I'm gonna start doing this for every season. And then I have my April TBR, which I also love, and my goal is seriously to color in all these flowers, and I think I can do it. Today's April 16th. I think I can do it. And then we have my DNF graveyard. as you guys saw, which honestly I think that this, like, if I were to fill it up more, which hopefully I don't, because no reader wants a DNF, but unfortunately it just happens. But I feel like if I were to fill it up, like, it would look really cool. Even now, like, I really do like the way that it looks. So I'm really happy with how it's turning out so far this year, and I feel like the more I do it and the more I actually take inspiration from Pinterest instead of just like winging it on my own, the better that it's gonna look. So happy with the way that it is right now. So now let's go over to my TBR cart and we can talk about my spring TBR a little bit. Okay, so first things first, I do have 2 new releases that are coming out in May on my spring TBR. So first we have Our Perfect Storm, which comes out honestly like literally in a few weeks, which I'm so excited for. I have yet to read all of Carly Fortune's books, and I hope to do that before this one comes out, or at least read a couple more of them. But I am so excited about this book. I just know it's like a childhood best friend to lovers sort of book, I'm pretty sure, and they're on a honeymoon somewhere, and it just sounds so freaking summer vibes and just so good. So very excited about that one. And then the next one, which if you guys know, Annabelle Monaghan is one of my favorite authors. We have Dolly all the time, and that one comes out at the end of May, so just about summer, but I know I'm gonna binge it in like a couple days when it first comes out. So excited about those 2 releases. But now we have the actual physical books on my spring TBR. Yeah, we're almost done with spring. Like, May is the last month of spring, but I hope to put some of these on my May TBR. Like, when we're doing our TBR wheel or whatever we do for May, I hope that I get some of these on my TBR, because these give spring vibes to me, and I don't see myself really reading them at any other point of the year. So I hope so badly to read them this spring. So first, like I talked about before, I have The Flat Share by Beth O'Leary, and I honestly haven't really heard any reviews on this. Like, I know it's quite popular, but for some reason I've just been really in the dark about this book, so I don't know many reviews or thoughts on this. But just looking at the cover, it is so spring to me. Like, just the colors and just the plants, her dress, literally everything about it is screaming spring to me. So I really want to be able to read this. The only thing that's kind of been turning me away from it is the font size. So I may have to get this on my Kindle, because literally it's so small. Like, I want to say this is probably like size 10 or smaller. So small for no reason. And then I have Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber, and I haven't stopped thinking about this book. Honestly, I can't wait to read this series. I think I'm really gonna like the fairy tale element, and because it does have that fairy tale element, it gives very much spring vibes to me. And then this book, Firefly Lane, is actually on my April TBR, so you guys will see me read this, because I'm going to finish my April TBR. You guys are gonna watch me finish my April TBR this month. So this one I am very positive that I'm gonna be finishing, and this one honestly gives me spring-ish summer vibes. Like, it could work for either one, because it's very much giving, like, what are those bugs called? Lightning bug? Firefly? They're called fireflies. The freaking book is called Firefly Lane. Oh my gosh, that was really dumb. Okay. The bugs that are literally this word. Yeah, anyways, moving on. Next we have The Names by Florence Knapp, and this was my May 2025 book of the month book. So it's been almost an entire year since I've had this, and I've heard really good things about it, and it sounds just like the perfect, like, fiction-y sort of spring book. And just look at the cover, this is spring. And then lastly we have Blue Sisters by Coco Mellors, and I know this is like gonna be a really heavy book. I feel like it follows grief amongst 4 sisters, I believe, and then the 5th one passed away, or it's 3 and then the 4th one passed away. I don't really know, but I know that this is very grief heavy, and as a sister, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to read this, but we'll see. I'm just very excited about this, and something about the cover screams spring to me. So this is my little spring TBR. Of course, I didn't want to make it too long. I actually did have it longer, like a month ago or 2 months ago when spring actually started, but now that we're like really close to spring being over, because in my head spring ends the last day of May, because June 1st is the first day of summer in my mind. So I really want to get to these books before summer comes. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed just spending a couple days with me doing some bookish stuff. I want to do these more often, especially so that I can stay on top of my reading journal. So let me know if you like this video. I hope you guys did. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys so soon. Bye guys.